Yo, what's good? I'm Marcus, the Debt Free Dad, where we talk finances, attorney reactions to current events, trending news, and a little bit of everything in between. As always, I'm grateful and appreciative to the over 17,000 subscribers, the people who view, support, comment, like, share, all of that good stuff. In this video, we're going to talk about yet another young hip hop artist who looks like he's on the verge of crashing and burning out. And what is crashing and burning out? Pretty much when you ruin your situation by self-inflicted wounds, something that you probably could have avoided, but yet you chose not to. So let's go ahead, dive into the video, and then we're going to talk about it a little briefly at the end. Hey, minimal pauses in this video because I know how y'all get on me because y'all say, oh man, this dude flap his gums too much. So let's go ahead, dive in the video. Let's get it.
And rapper Lil Durk has been arrested and charged with a murder for hire plot. The Chicago native, whose real name is Durk Banks, was arrested in Florida by the U.S. Marshals Service. The 32-year-old's arrest comes as 5 other people in Chicago were arrested in connection with the investigation. According to the complaint, Banks and his co-conspirators allegedly worked together to, quote, track, stalk, and attempt to murder a target at a Los Angeles gas station, firing at least 18 rounds into the person's vehicle, striking and killing a passenger in the car. Banks made his first court appearance this afternoon in Miami. Banks' lawyer asked for privacy after leaving court, telling ABC, quote, we will not be commenting at this time. I want to bring in ABC News contributor and Sirius XM radio host Mike Muse and ABC News contributor and criminal defense attorney Shauna Lloyd from.
All right, this is dope because I haven't had a chance to watch this, but we're going to get some commentary from a criminal defense attorney. Let's kind of put this in perspective. This dude is relatively new to the hip hop scene, a young person from Chicago. He has a net worth of about $8 million. In addition to that, he has 7 children, but he also provides financial support to the children of his deceased brother. Brother had 2 kids. So he got 9 kids that he's taking care of. Not to mention, I don't know, probably a few baby mothers, an entourage, a whole bunch of people who relying on him, and it looked like he crashing out. Let's see what these attorneys have to say. Let's go back in.
More on all of this. And Shauna, I want to start with you on this. The charges against these men include conspiracy to commit murder for hire and use of a machine gun in a violent crime resulting in a death. The most serious charge carries up to the death penalty if convicted. So, I mean, I know it's early, but how do you see this playing out?
You know, Alex, this is a very serious charge. Conspiracy is one of those charges that all it takes is voluntary knowledge. So as long as you had any conversation with 2 or more about something, a plan to further this plot for hire, and it resulted in a death, you are looking at those either life imprisonment and up to the death penalty. So it does not take a lot to be convicted of conspiracy charges. Now, they do have to show that he was voluntarily a part of this conspiracy, and they're going to have to show that he knew what the conspiracy, what the end goal of the conspiracy is. And so that's the burden. But conspiracy does not take as much as other charges. So this is a very serious crime.
Mike, you know, one of the things that strikes me about this is Durk has long touted himself as the voice, especially from Chicago. He's noted his connection to the trenches, but also he's had a kind of a stellar 2024, appearing on some hit TV shows and new music on the way. He just celebrated a birthday, so I'm curious. I mean, how is the music and entertainment world processing this news? I mean, that had to be a huge shock.
Yeah, it was very much a huge shock, and particularly coming off the Grammys when he had the song "All My Life" with J. Cole, which is pretty much one of his biggest singles that he's had to date. That had incredible commercial success. Lil Durk is part of what is called the drill movement in Chicago, and so every region in the United States has a different sound when it comes to hip hop, and so.
All right, let's talk about this real quick before we even go in this. I don't even know if I want to play the rest of this. Long story short is, hey, no matter how successful you are, if somebody want to do hood shit and they still got a hood mentality, they going to end up in 1 or 2 places. I mean, that's just kind of what it is. That's just kind of how it goes. It looks like, according to reports, this alleged murder for hire plot was a retaliation for the death of a family member of his cousin King Von. Like, hey, sometimes cats is gonna slide. They don't care. They gonna slide for their family members, for their crew, whatever. They don't care what goals they got. They don't care what they can avoid. The wild part of this is, and we talk about this all the time on the channel, like, it's weird because, like, not all, but most street guys. Hey, trust me, I've been an attorney for a long time. Hey, hey, you grow up in the hood. I know what real street guys are. And most real street guys who really in the street, they want nothing more than to legitimize themselves so they don't have to do street shit. So I always find it odd when you have a few scenarios. You have this person who isn't from the streets and actually has resources who just choose to do street stuff, or you have the alternative, somebody who's from the street, they find and legitimize success from a legitimate means of income, but they continue to do street stuff and let it all slide away. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, this dude's gonna be broke. At $8 million net worth, let's say if he got $8 million net worth, that's his total assets. That's not a lot of money considering what his financial obligations probably off was children, his baby mothers, his bills and expenses. But now considering what his attorneys are going to charge, I mean, let's just keep it real. I think this is another instance of a young person who has some talent, who is just stuck on hood moves, and they make bad decisions, and now those decisions are going to cost them everything. They're looking at anything from the death penalty to potentially life in prison. Not to mention, let's just talk about this from a commonsensical standpoint, okay? Lil Durk has a unique look. And apparently, when they found him in the airport and he was on his way to Italy. Like, yo, if you are going to flee the country, like, hey, not giving nobody advice on how to evade authorities, but if you're going to flee the country and you're a famous celebrity, and one of the things that make you famous is your hair, you probably, one, should cut that shit. And two, you should probably go to a country that doesn't have extradition with the United States. You go to Italy, everybody gonna point you out. Everybody's gonna know who you are, and they will not hesitate for 1 minute to ship your ass back to the United States. So this dude is about to blow all of his $8 million net worth on attorney fees and trying to fight this case. And we may dive into the actual indictment at a little bit later date. But what is looking like now is they have text messages, telephonic communication, and a lot of things that looks like is some hard, tough evidence that's going to kind of make sure Lil Durk may not be around for the long haul. We'll talk about it. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Chime in below. Again, you play stupid ass games, you win stupid prizes. And if you enjoyed this video, check out the content on the screen. There's going to be more content related to attorney reactions.